The Giants beat the Green Bay Packers 24-22 in the Monday night game, and Green Bay losing for the first time since Matt LaFleur took over in the month of December. DeVito, not known for being fleet of foot, ran for 71 yards, which tells you the Green Bay Packers defense did not come to play, at least in terms of preventing the quarterback from escaping and getting those free yards. Anyway, the Packers are 6-7. The Giants are 5-8. They're a game out of a playoff spot. The New York Giants have worked their way back into contention, which is more of a byproduct of how bad the NFC is than the NFL product in general. But the Packers 16-1 in December with that loss. All streaks come to an end. The better story is in that losing locker room, and so that is where we will begin. Let us discuss the question on the table. How do you explain the Packers quarterback, Jordan Love, being outplayed by Tommy DeVito? Explain that. Jordan Love was outplayed by Tommy DeVito, for God's sakes. So I've got House of Pies, blues singer, and rounding. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a partay, which I don't know where he went, but I'm pretty sure Tommy DeVito had a hell of a party. But this is not about Tommy DeVito right now. Instead, this is about Jordan Love. Do you feel the love? Do you feel the love? So Jordan Love, the toast of the NFL world. He had been crowned by the pundits, Jordan Love, after that coronation against Kansas City. It was his bar mitzvah. He's a man now. Pick up your flowers. Congratulations. Jordan Love had risen from question mark to proven entity for the Green Bay football team, and he had reached mid-season elite status. We're not even in mid-season anymore. We're getting later and later in the year, and then Jordan Love went out, and he sat in the cockpit, and he rode the Vomit Comet. Jordan Love rode the Vomit Comet right into the ground, right? And he did not look like the same player that we had seen in the last month or so, certainly the last 3 weeks. Jordan Love looked completely snookered. He was flummoxed by the Giants, who are not a great team. They're a bad team, in fact. The Giants would be a bad team. Turns out that Green Bay's also a bad team. But this game should have never been close. It should have never been a game that would come down to a field goal at the end. Jordan Love on this night was dining at the House of Pies, and he had a nice dish of humble pie. That was a reality check that you're not quite there yet. Even though everyone's been slobbering all over you and giving you the back rub and the bath massage and the whole thing. Doesn't matter. All right, extra whipped cream on that humble pie. Love was clunky, all over the place there. The numbers back up the eyeball test. Now, I had both games on at the same time. So 2 games at the same time, as Tony Bruno would say. Actually about something else. But we bounced around. And so Jordan Love, the numbers indicate he was pretty average. He had 218 yards passing. That ain't good. It was a cool night. It wasn't terrible conditions for football this time of the year in mid to late December as we get later and later in December. But the numbers were bad. The yards per pass, bad. 1 touchdown pass, a fumble, and an interception for Jordan Love. 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass. You can do the math. And he was given a gift. The Packers shouldn't have even been able to take the lead if it wasn't for the stumble bum, Saquon Barkley, the franchise running back for the New York Giants, who fumbled at midfield, giving the Green Bay football team a short field and an opportunity to come down. And they did take advantage of that briefly. Now, furthermore, who are the real Green Bay Packers? Will the real Green Bay Packers please stand up? Please stand up. So they are, at this point, you'd have to say, helter-skelter. That is what the Green Bay Packers are. Dysfunction. There's a lot of that going on here. And while everyone's all excited because the building blocks are there for the Green Bay Packers and all that, that's great. Well, we're not 5 years from now. We're right now. We're not 2 years from now. We live in the moment. And the key ingredient You don't need me to tell you this, but the key ingredient that helps you cross the Rubicon is consistency of performance. Now, we all have bad days, right? We all have bad days, but the consistency of the performance, and do not lose to inferior teams. If you just beat the teams you're supposed to beat, you'll make the playoffs every year. The Green Bay Packers are like a blues singer right now, muddy waters. They are in muddy waters. A lot of slop in the NFC. There's gridlock, and this loss, a gut punch from Tommy Cutlets to the Green Bay football team, because you got the gridlock now. You've got 5 teams. There are 5 teams that all share a 6-7 record in the National Football Conference. So you do the math on this. So there's 5, 6, and 7 teams. Mediocrity Meadows, we'll call this group. Now, it is the most popular record in the NFL, 5-7. The Cheeseheads, I'll be Benny Brightside, temporarily are still the number 7 seed in the NFC postseason. Congratulations. Based on strength of schedule, et cetera, and some other tiebreakers. And so Green Bay, for the moment, is still in the playoffs. They're the last team in the NFC. However, they just lost a game that they had circled as a win. They had it in the bag. What's in the bag? The victory. The W's in the bag. They lost. You know it, and I know it. They were pretty sizable favorites considering their record, Green Bay, on the road in this game. But you look ahead now, and the Packers have the Buccaneers at Lambeau. Now, you just assume that's a win just based on cold weather. You're taking a team from Florida, and you're dropping them into northern Wisconsin a week before the Christmas holiday. It ain't going to be warm. It's not going to be warm there in Wisconsin, so that should be a win just on that alone. But you know what happens when you assume, just like the Packers assumed they were going to beat the G-Men. And how did that work out? So then after the Bucs at Lambeau, you've got the Panthers, another team. You just assume you show up, make sure the bus is there on time, you get the win. And the Vikings, they don't have a quarterback. And then you got the Bears, who actually, of the teams, this is the odd thing, of the teams that the Packers play the rest of the year, the Bears are actually playing better than any of those other teams. The Chicago Bears. Who would have thought that you could say that 5 weeks ago or a month, 2 months ago? But here we are. So if you lose to the Giants, here's the other problem. It's a bit of a reality check. So you lose to the Giants, you can lose to any of those teams or all of those teams on the schedule. All right, parting shot. So let's go to the other side. What does this Giants 3-game winning streak do for Tommy DeVito's future? Does he have a future? All right, so this is obviously modest. All right, 3-game winning streak. The Giants are still a bad team, but they have won 3 games in a row. They have also beaten 3 inferior teams that are also bad teams in this stretch. The missed field goal by the Patriots helping get that victory, for example. But you look around, and so the thing it does is it gives you a continued heartbeat going forward, that you don't have to get that internship on Wall Street. You don't have to get the insurance gig. You don't have to get a job like that right now. That DeVito, he's not going to have to go down that road in the near future. Now, he's not great, but DeVito has been rounding into shape. He looked like he was picked on a contest, like they had a Make-A-Wish contest. You want to play quarterback for the Giants when he took over? But he doesn't look that bad anymore. He doesn't. Last month, Tommy DeVito has 6 touchdown passes, 1 interception, passer rating over 100. Over 100 for the last month. And I have an unpopular opinion. If I was running the Giants, if I was coaching the Giants, I would rather have Tommy DeVito as my quarterback than Danny Dimes. I would much rather go out there with DeVito, who is lacking in every way the skill set that Daniel Jones has. But I'd still rather have Tommy Cutlets, and I don't even think Tommy Cutlets is that good. But I'd rather have him. That's how much I loathe Daniel Jones. And you see it in a game like this. If Daniel Jones was playing quarterback in that Monday night game for the Giants, he would have been sacked 5 or 6 times. Why? Because he's always sacked 5 or 6 times. That is how Tommy DeVito rolls. That is how he operates. He's always being sacked because he's got no internal clock. He screws it up, and he doesn't know when to hold it and when to throw it away and all that. But yet, you look at the game last night. If you were watching the game, and the Green Bay Packers defense is a middling defense and all that, and they certainly didn't play particularly great. Right? They didn't play particularly great, but Tommy DeVito, I didn't see him spending any time laying on his backside there. I didn't. Maybe I missed that. Maybe that happened and I missed it. But I didn't see it. Maybe you saw it. I didn't see it.